Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of the EdTech Chat and Chew podcast. I'm Mike Soskell from Pennsylvania, and today we've got a really special, awesome show. We've got a special guest with us, Richard Snyder from Washington State, is here, and he's a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert and OneNote guru who's going to teach a little bit about how to use OneNote in the classroom. And as always, we have Karen from Texas, who's here, one of our podcast team members. Karen, your district is just starting to implement Office 365, right?
We are. We haven't rolled it out completely yet, and so we're in the process. Yay!
Yeah, so I know this is going to be a great learning session for her to help her teachers out. And I'm very excited because since becoming a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert, I keep hearing about how incredible OneNote is and all the great things that it can do in education, but it's honestly a tool that I've never really played around with. So I asked Richard to come on the show today to give me some pointers and teach all of us at the same time, how we can use this great tool in education. But before we get started, we do have a little bit of housekeeping that we want to mention or announce. So Karen, do you want to give our big announcement that we have?
Sure. The first week of February, the TCEA conference over in Texas is going to be going on, and just recently they had this cancellation for a global session to connect kids, well, globally. And Michael Soskell and I have the opportunity of taking over that session to teach 92 teachers. So we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
Basically share what we're doing here in EdTech Chat and Chew with a big audience.
Looking at the session description, it's almost as if we wrote it ourselves. I mean, it's basically everything that we believe about as a podcast team and everything that we've been doing wrapped up into one presentation. And when Karen shared the description to me, I knew that it was. We can't wait. For all of you that are out there viewing and that have participated in our global projects, we're going to be able to share that awesomeness that you've contributed to, over the last year and a half, and share that out to a bunch of other teachers to show them what's possible. So that's something I know I'm real excited about. Karen's real excited about, and I guess we've got 2 weeks to put that presentation together, so that'll be fun.
We can do it.
I'm sure. So Richard, I know you've got a OneNote notebook. I'm going to turn it over to you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do first, and then share with us about OneNote.
Fantastic. I'm going to turn on my screen share and say hello to everybody. Again, my name is Richard Snyder. I'm a librarian from Washington State, and right now I'm actually over here on the East Coast. I'm in the Virgin Islands right now. I'm with a great organization called NCCE, and we're doing a 3-year project with some teachers in the Virgin Islands to deliver professional learning and training and just help out kind of any way we can. And of course, one of the tools that we've given them is OneNote. And so my district has been using OneNote pretty heavily for about the last 6 or 7 years, and I got to go to a very intense 2-hour class on it 7 years ago from one of the developers of OneNote, and I've written myself a note to not do what he did, which is slow down. I need to slow down. OneNote is this massive program that you can do so many things with, and I just want to try to show you a little bit about how I use it and what I do with it, and then show you some information that I've done with kids. So right now what I have open is I actually have a page that's sort of I've got an address here, I've got a bit.ly link that if anyone who's watching, feel free to go to that link. It's bit.ly/OneNote. It is case sensitive, so make sure to do the one in all caps and the note in lower. This is a shared notebook that anyone can access, and just inviting you to share some of your contact information or draw a picture, whatever it is. You'll kind of see later on how when everyone contributes to a shared notebook that you can actually walk away with a great resource. But I'm just going to go through some of the key features of OneNote, and then as time allows, of course, show you what it is that you can do, and of course show you what I do with OneNote. If you, I don't know, if you're in your classroom, you might look behind you, or if you're in your office, look around, you probably have several very large 3-ring binders just kind of laying around. Those are fantastic for storing information. Of course, they're static. You have to open those rings, you have to put paper in, you have to keep track of everything. It falls apart. Think of OneNote as your virtual electronic 3-ring binder that does so much more. I can keep notes in it, I can attach files, I can embed video. Students can use it to do research, and it documents their research as they do it. You can share it with somebody else so that we can all work on the same notebook at the same time, and it updates live and in real time. Doesn't matter where you are. It shares in a web browser. It shares on a desktop version. I have it on all my devices. It's on my phone. It's on my iPad. It was a great feature Microsoft added this last year, was to make it free and available across all devices, doesn't matter what. And it's a great collaboration tool, and it's a great kind of personal storage data tool. So here I am on my main page, and I'm just going to look at the share and see if anyone's chiming in yet. And there's a little bit of a lag on it because I'm on the desktop version versus the browser version. But so here's OneNote, and here's where it is. And there's a couple different versions out there. If you're using Office 2010, it's going to look slightly different, but it all really does work the same way. If you think of it again as my large 3-ring binder, here's my, what I like to call my bookshelf. And so these would be all the different OneNote notebooks I have open right now. I have one where I do all of my lesson plans. I have one for home. We use this at my house all the time. You keep recipes. We've done travel information. Kind of anything that I know I'm going to forget, like my super awkward Wi-Fi code that I have to tell the cable company when my Wi-Fi broke. I keep that there in OneNote. Things that I need access to, but I don't want to have to remember, and I don't want to keep a paper copy of in a drawer, I keep them all in my OneNote notebook. So just like a 3-ring binder, you have those great little tabs there across the top. Those are called sections here in OneNote. So like when you go down to Office Depot and you get the little tabs that are colored and you fill them out, I have those same features here. And within each section, then you have pages over here on the right-hand side. So I've made some pages here just to try to highlight some of the features in OneNote. The nice thing about it is that you're not limited to a line or a space like you are in Word or PowerPoint. Wherever you want to put content, OneNote lets you put it right there. So I can say here, if I'm starting a project with some teachers, like in a couple of weeks, I know we're going to start researching early American presidents. I could start just jotting down my ideas for my presidents. So I could say, find the background information. I could say get websites for kids, set up library times. Whatever that is, all I'm just doing is I'm just typing and adding information. So think about my 3-ring binder again. I may be writing that out with a pen or a pencil. Here in OneNote, I just actually type it. I can also gather.
So Richard,
yes, go ahead. Yes.
Question for you before you go on. So
okay.
How many do you have editing that at the same time? So could you have like a collaboration of multiple people editing that same page?
Yes, multiple people. Now, you kind of have to go with since we're all in the same space at the same time, maybe not all try to put everything in the same exact corner. I might have some questions laid out in places that people could type. I remember one time we were brainstorming better ways to handle our homeroom program, and so we went in groups of 6 back to probably 10 different classrooms. Everyone pulled open the same shared OneNote page, and we'd all set like our little zones beforehand. But as we were all talking and brainstorming our ideas, I could see what all of my other colleagues were sharing at the same time, and we could borrow ideas from each other. We could see it happen in real time. Think of it kind of like a wiki, I think, in that sense, or maybe just a chat space where we're all kind of adding our content in, and I can see it and I can borrow from it. The nice thing it does too, you don't see the example on here. When someone adds content, it will put their like their initials or their name by it. Just OneNote just adds that feature in kind of directly. Think of it like the tracking feature in Microsoft Word or PowerPoint. It sort of embeds their contact information with the comment they made, so you can know who added that comment if you need to.
So you would share that or collaborate based on email address or Microsoft account? How would you add people to that?
With Office 365 or with just the OneDrive consumer account, you can send a direct URL to it. You can invite people through an email address, and that way it makes it a little more secure. So I can share with a specific audience, or I can just make it open. This notebook I've made entirely open. The only time that someone might run into getting asked for a password is that if you want to actually download the notebook and use it online. Like here's the web version of it, and so there's an option here at the top that says Edit Notebook, and I can edit it in OneNote, or I can edit it in OneNote Online. And if you edit it in OneNote Online, you lose a couple of the features, but you still have that ability to collaborate. You still have that ability to share information, to get files, to add everything into it. So you're kind of limited, I think, by your imagination. Like, what would collaboration look like with your team, and what would this environment look like if you were all collaborating? Are we typing our ideas? Are we adding files? I can add a video of myself making comments on whatever we're doing. OneNote lets you add in so many different types of media, all simultaneously, all at the same time. Oh, there's a couple
anyone with a free OneDrive account online has access then.
You don't even, you know what? You don't even need that free OneDrive account. If you don't have it, it lets you add information. If you have that OneDrive account, it would let you download the notebook and use the desktop version. Either way, you can use it. You're not limited to people with the account.
So this is
And
something
then-
I could start using now with my teachers, even though it hasn't been rolled out and they're not logging in and using it.
Exactly. When you get that 365 account, it'll give you some more features, but they could access it right now. That it's such a great tool for delivering professional development because, you know, I've gone to many classes where you get a big packet of handouts or you actually get that through reminder, you're keeping notes on it, and someone shares a resource and you copy down that URL wrong. Now when we have professional learning classes in our district, you get a OneNote notebook. And that's all digital. You just download it right onto your device, or you have it back in your classroom on your computer there. And it has all that information. It's updated. As the instructor for that, I could add in more information to someone's notebook if I wanted to, if I'd set it up as a shared one, or they can have a standalone static one that they can totally change the content on, but it doesn't change my original notebook.
Nice.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Yeah, so Karen, I mean, even for, if we can put it together in time, even for our presentation, we could have all of our resources there and share out that link with attendees,
Yeah,
of all the different global projects we've done and how to get started, all the different tools we're talking about.
So I'm going to just jump into the one I've made for students. We did with our 8th graders last year, and we're starting it up again, a project on making infographics. And I've done the curriculum design where I spent hours at the photocopier, and you get to the end of it, and you realize you did the wrong thing, you got to start over again, and your resources are changing, you have all different ideas. What I did for my 8th graders is I made them their own OneNote notebook. So I went ahead, I already had my whole unit planned out. I knew what kind of assessment they were going to have. I knew what resources I wanted them to get to. I had already made a couple of surveys to use as exit tickets, and I had those all kind of ready to go. And then I created a new notebook, and I had kind of 2 parts to my notebook. This first part was teaching them how to understand infographics. So here's basically my first day. I could give them several links to infographic examples. This was a survey that they were going to fill out when they were analyzing one of the infographics. I could talk about our objectives for the unit. I could explain why I wanted them to use an infographic. I included a 1920s one because they had just finished a whole unit on the 1920s. And rather than, again, making photocopies of this, trying to put it up on the overhead or on my document camera or anything, they could just have it right here on their device. We're a one-to-one district. So I also, knowing we're a one-to-one district, I know my kids could have this right there at their desk, and they could take this and write notes on it. Then I had a whole page on how to design an infographic where, again, I found all the examples beforehand. They could see them in color. If a student couldn't read this, he could go in and make it bigger. He could adjust it. Right, kind of all the things I wanted them to understand. Then I had the section for them actually to do their research. And that's where I love, as a librarian, this power of OneNote, because it will document your research as you do it. So there's no, oh, I didn't write down that website. I can just go right into OneNote and do it. And if I can, I just kind of want to demonstrate that a little bit if I can real quick. So let's say here I wanted to go online and I wanted to find some information about what my topic was. I'll switch over to Internet Explorer real quick, and I'll pull up, let's see, I think there was an important event yesterday. I might type in something about the Seahawks. Yeah, there we go. That was a nice little quiet event that I had yesterday. It was a good day, and so maybe I wanted to have some information in my notebook about that in case we forgot that beautiful moment. So here's my page, and of course I have my text right there, and I could go in and of course I could summarize it, I could paraphrase it, I could do whatever. Or if I'm a student and I'm doing a lot of research, maybe I just want to get a bunch of sources together and then go back and analyze them. So kind of step one here, I've got my page set up of some information I want to get. I'll just include that little screenshot right there too. So I go back here to OneNote, and I do this feature. It's under Insert. It's called a screen clipping. It is right there, screen clipping. Now my screen's going to go, I always call it goes the mrr effect because everything is grayed out. I'm just going to do, this looks a lot like the snipping tool. I'm just going to come around and I'm going to snip the screen here. And it goes back to OneNote, but what happens? This comes in as an image.
Wow.
Right down here, I've got the name of the web page, I've got the URL, I've got the date I took it. I can teach kids how to turn that into an MLA or APA citation, and they can go on with their research, finding information and not getting bogged down in, make sure you write down where you got it, because OneNote got it for them right when they were doing it. That works for when you copy and paste pictures that you find online. It works for, there's also a link note feature where I can take notes right along beside a website. It keeps all that sort of connected in there together.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's like a librarian's dream come true because it has that documentation. It's great. Yay, you verified your sources. And then I also loaded in a lot of templates for them where they could go in and type in their research. They could add the information to it. I was trying to, it can become a scaffolding tool for you as well. And you could make different notebooks without a lot of effort. You could make a standard one, then you could make one for students that might need a little more support. You could have them all linked together, or you could differentiate them out just as much as you needed to. It really, it's what is it you want to do? OneNote will come up with a way to do that. It's just taking a little bit of time and a little bit of formatting to do that.
Wow.
I don't know if there's any questions coming in, but there's a couple other little things I could talk about.
Yeah, sure. We got about 5 more minutes. So.
Oh, great. So if you are looking for a way to get your kids into using OneNote, Bing started a brand new project last week. They've been doing Bing in the classroom, where you can go onto the Microsoft Educator Network or just go onto Bing itself and look for ways to use Bing in the classroom. And in the past, some great teachers have been putting together like a daily PowerPoint that goes with that Bing image of the day. You can download the PowerPoint. It gives you about a 5 or 10-minute activity with your kids. Well, last week, with being with NCCE, we started a project to also include sort of a companion OneNote notebook with each of those daily lessons. And so what you can do as a teacher is you can download the notebook for your students. You can put it in a place where they can access it. And not only does it go through sound research skills, it goes through collaborative activities, but it also helps teach kids the features of OneNote and how they can use those in different ways. So rather than always having to type out their entire answer, they can record it in video. Rather than going and copying and pasting, they can use that screen clipping feature, which also gives them that sort of citation information. It shows them how to embed files. It shows them how to make checklists and check off those checklists. So it teaches OneNote as much as it teaches all those other things that we want to do. And each of those lessons can be between 30 and 60 minutes, all ready to go. They cover a variety of disciplines. We've linked them all to Common Core standards. And it's a great way. You can even just use them yourself as a way to learn OneNote, because like I said, we're trying to include as much OneNote instruction as we are the other instruction that's there. So I put the link here on this page. Again, just go to that Educator Network or go to Bing itself, look for Bing in the classroom, and that'll take you to the link to download those notebooks. So that could be a great way to sort of teach yourself how to use it, and then it's immediately ready to give to your students as well. And they're K through 4, 5 through 8, and 9 through 12 based lessons.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I'm really excited. I know from talking to the Skype in the Classroom team over at Microsoft, I know they're putting together a Skype in the Classroom OneNote notebook that's going to have information for teachers that are looking to get started with global collaboration. So I'm really excited to see that and be able to share it out, when they're finished with that.
Oh, I think just the potentials to use it in any way. I mean, like I said, we use it at home. It's on my phone, so I can look up a recipe. When we travel, we load all of our hotel information and flight information into a OneNote notebook that we can pull up on our phone. And basically you pull it up once and it's there. So even if you don't have an internet connection, it stays. The last thing you did stays on your OneNote copy on your computer. And then when you go back online, it will sync up with any other changes that you made on another device or that somebody else made if it's a collaborative notebook. So once it's there, it's kind of there. And that's kind of a nice thing for kids too, because maybe if they have something synced to their flash drive, they forget their flash drive one day, they can always go back and just kind of use the last copy they had of it. So I've pasted some other resources on here for anyone wanting to learn more about OneNote. Some OneNote tutorials from Microsoft Office. There's a fantastic OneNote YouTube channel that walks you through step by step. And of course, on the Microsoft Educator Network, lots of tutorials designed for both teachers and for students that anyone can access and be able to use. So those are all right on there for anyone who wants to get them.
And Richard, what was the link for that OneNote notebook again?
Oh, I'll go back to it. Share. It's a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/one and then note, and it is case sensitive. Okay. And I put that on the YouTube channel in my comments too.
Oh, perfect, good. And we'll go ahead and share that out on our Facebook page also. So if there's anyone that's watching and wants to be able to get to that, they can click right on it. Richard, that was fantastic. You did an awesome job.
Oh, thanks so much for letting me come and share. Yes.
Sorry, just real quickly, I know, and I can only compare this to Google Docs, and so is there any way, as a teacher, that you can see how many people are in that notebook at the same time?
If you are doing the sharing, I believe it will show you how many people are editing it, and I noticed on the online version, it also showed me, like right here, it says 2 other people are here, me, because I have it open, and another guest. So, and that would be connected to if they're logged in as a Microsoft account, but that's showing me that at least 2 other people are here right now. So it does,
Okay.
yes, it does.
Cool.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like a live binder on steroids. Yeah, I've used live binders in the past, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but it seems like that kind of format, you know, like the 3-ring binder, you know, digital copy. But some of the features that you showed are just incredible. I love the screen clipping, you know, especially working with elementary kids. You know, so many times we're telling them to cite their source, or you know, looking for an easy way for them to take information that they can get back to later. And this is just a fantastic tool for them to be able to do it.
And you know, and I forgot to say, it has this amazing search feature built into OneNote that when you search through your notebooks for a string of text, it will search the text in the picture also. It'll even search for word recognition in videos. It's incredible. The developers of this program, it just gets better and better every version that the developers have with it every year, and I'm just every day I kind of joke about it, but every day I start Microsoft Outlook, I start Internet Explorer, and I start OneNote, and I probably use OneNote the most throughout the day because, especially as a librarian, I typically do the same lesson sort of once or twice a year, and I want to go back to my resources. So I've got, like, I'll just go back into my this is my personal notebook, and I have a whole section called Teaming. And in my teaming section, I've just kept track of like all my lessons over the years, and so as I type notes, as I have ideas, as I want to go back into it, I have that information kind of always constantly that I can always access year after year. I can leave myself notes, say, oh, make sure I change that for next time, or there's some other information I want to make sure I include. I keep track of all my book talks, so I can say, like, oh, yeah, when they were 6th graders, I already explained this book to them, so now that they're 8th graders, I want to make sure I can pick some different information for them, and I put my schedules in. I don't think I could do my job as well if I didn't have OneNote. I would have a lot more sticky notes all over my monitor, a much larger file drawer. And to say that, I still have sticky notes on my monitor. There's still some things that you do traditionally, but I think OneNote as a teacher to keep track of those resources is just fantastic.
I'm excited about it that I can get started with it now before it's even rolled out to teachers and students.
Yeah, if you have
I can't wait to start playing. Yeah, I can't wait to start playing with it.
Fantastic. Well, let me know if I can help, and if I can, I'd be more than happy to collaborate with anyone. That notebook is just online, and it's there, and if anyone, you know, my contact information is up, and tweet me or email me or ask me anything, and I'd be happy to show any other OneNote examples, but the resources online are endless, and they just help you get started immediately with it.
Awesome. Thank you so
Great.
much.
All right,
Yes,
so
thanks for asking me
before
today.
we wrap up,
Yes.
yeah, before we wrap up, kind of our shtick, you know, the EdTech Chat and Chew podcast. So we always, you know, meet around our lunchtime. So we're going to go ahead and share what we had for lunch today. So Karen, go ahead, you can start.
I haven't had lunch and haven't thought about it, but I'm enjoying a mocha right now, so we'll leave it there.
Nice. How about you, Richard? Any plans for lunch today?
I had a plate of island fruits already, and I believe we're going to Utter Delights to get milkshakes.
Ooh, fantastic. Yeah, well, I did not have a mocha or a milkshake. You know, I took a salad from home. I'm trying to be healthy, you know, training for another half marathon. So. You know,
Oh, nice. Well, you need a milkshake if you're running a half marathon. Come on.
Yeah, I got some time. I'm only at the, you know, I ran one back in, you know, a couple months ago, and I'm just starting to train for the next one. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Richard, and you know,
Happy to be
definitely
here.
we'll keep in touch, and I look forward to collaborating more in the future.
Wonderful.
All right. See you everyone later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.